So we are going to begin with the first one, that is subject and object questions with who. So I have this picture to explain you what are subject and object questions. Okay. First of all, you need to know that every sentence has an object and a subject, okay? The subject is the person that does the action, and the object is the person that receives that action. Well, not exactly the person, because it can also be an animal or a thing. So I will say it again. The subject is the noun that does the action, and the object is the noun that receives the action. Okay? And today we are going to work with questions that that have the main target in the object or the subject. Okay? So, just so you know, here we have one question. Who does John love? John loves Mary. This is an object question because the question is asking for an object. The question is asking for the person or the noun that receives the action, not the one that does the action. It's the one that receives, okay? So when we have an object question, we need an auxiliary verb. In this case, we are going to need the auxiliary verb did because we are working with past simple, okay? So when we have an object, when we want to ask an object question, we need an auxiliary verb. And this is the word order. First, the question word who, the auxiliary. In this case, we just did, but here we have does because of the example. The subject, that is the person that does the action. And what is that action? Love. So this is the order. You start the question with who, continue with the auxiliary did, because we are working with past. So we just start with who, continue with did. The subject is the person or noun that does the action, the person that the part that does the action, and the verb. Now, the subject question asks who receives the action. Here we want to know who receives the action that is done. The action that is done, we want to know who receives that. So instead of asking who does he love, I will ask you who loves John. I want to know the person that receives the action. So Sally loves John. This is a subject question. When we have a subject question, we don't need an auxiliary. We only use the question word, the verb, and the subject and the object. Sorry. We begin with the. In this case, because we are working with past simple, we will use who, the verb in past, because we are working with past, and the object of the sentence. The object, remember, the one that receives the action. We need the person that receives the action. Okay, so who does